witches, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lucca, and today we are building yet another tiny house. This tiny home is actually inspired by a floor plan thing that I saw on Facebook. You'll actually see it in the thumbnail, and you'll see it right here on the screen now. But basically I saw this. It was a really simple shape and a pretty simple floor plan, but it really inspired me because sometimes you just need something simple to inspire you in The Sims, because we did get this we got the book nook kit. I was about to call it the bookshelf kit again, but yeah, the book nook kit, and that's a really hard thing to say. I don't know why they named it that, but yeah, I really like it. It's a really nice little kit. It's got, modular bookshelves. It's got like a whole new set of furniture for the living room. So it's I don't know, really good set. Really happy with it. And it wasn't what inspired this build initially, but once I got the kit and everything, I was like, oh, I really want to finish this build. So, but yeah, this tiny home I built on a 30 by 20 lot in Newcrest, and it is not really a starter home, but I kind of had that in mind whenever I was building it. It was kind of inspired by how a starter home would be. So it's not super expensive, and it's perfect for a couple of Sims just kind of starting out. It's a little bit more furnished than a starter home, so it's kind of a starter home plus, if you want to call it that. But I went with a lot of really warm colors. I was trying to experiment with this build a little bit too today, because I didn't want to just kind of build the same old thing over and over. I went really eclectic with the interior, as well as just trying to really make the exterior pretty detailed. I wanted to make sure the landscaping was nice. I wanted to make sure there was plenty of stuff to do outside, because it's just fun to have your Sims be outside sometimes, because if you just play in the same house all the time, it gets pretty boring. I will say that's something that I recommend, is making your yards look nice. So with landscaping, honestly, you can kind of go in with a planned thing in mind, but honestly, with landscaping, I just kind of go with the flow. I just kind of place stuff, and if it looks good, I'll leave it. If it doesn't look good, I'll just take it away. It's pretty back and forth. It's pretty, all over the place, but I always place lavender down, me. I always plant lavender for luck. So, I just always put that in my builds. I don't know. It's just nice, it's just neat. I can just place it down, and I know that it's going to look good with any world, with any kind of landscaping that I do, whether it's modern or traditional or lush or simple. It just lavender works. But yeah, it did take me quite a bit to figure out the landscaping, because I really wanted it to be, I didn't want it to just look good in the front, and then whenever you go to the side of the house, it's just blah, so I wanted to make sure that it was, it looks good all around. And yeah, it's nice, it's simple, and I really like how the front of the house looks. It's a really simple shape. It's literally just a rectangle. That's all this house is just a rectangle, but sometimes that's nice to build with, because you can kind of, make it into anything. And also a little detail that I saw, the new roofs trim swatches that we got, they aren't really new, but we've had them for a little bit now. They're so nice, because it's when we got the Greenhouse Haven kit, they updated those, and the black swatch that they added, it's a lighter toned black, and it matches so many of the the roofing swatches. I don't really know what to call them, textures, patterns, whatever, but it matches them a lot better. And this house is just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. It's really, really simple. It has just an open plan kitchen living concept. I was going to call it a kitchen. That's not what it is. It's a kitchen. But yeah, I just kind of, went with that. And that's a big tip for me, is if you're struggling to figure out what to build in The Sims, just find a good floor plan online. Pinterest is a really good place to go. I found this one on Facebook. There's actually a tiny house page that I follow that I thought was, it was a really nice variety that they shared on there. It wasn't just the same stuff that I saw all the time. And I really liked this one. It was really simple. It was just a render. It wasn't a real house, I don't think, but it was a concept thing. But I really liked it. It was just a simple shape, a simple concept, and it was good, you know, it's just neat, I guess you could say. And then the backyard, I actually did a nice little patio out here. It did take me a little bit of time to figure out what I was like going for, because I was like, what are they going to do out here? Am I going to put a pool? But I was like, a pool isn't really for a starter home. So I went with just like some garden, like planter boxes. And I was being incredibly meticulous with these hedges for some reason. I don't know why, because like these hedges, if you notice, they're like slightly like angled, like they're a little bit diagonal when you place them, which is kind of weird. So I was like adjusting that, and I don't know why I needed to do that, but I did. But yeah, the back patio is a really, you know, big space actually, which that's actually something I noticed when I was doing this build, because I almost always build my tiny home builds on like a 20 by 15, and this is a 30 by 20. So it gave me a little bit more space to work with, and it was nice not having to, you know, be cramped into one little lot. So maybe I'll build on these 30 by 20s a little bit more. I tend to prefer smaller lots because it takes less to fill them up, and I don't have to like worry, oh, I only have this much space, so I can stop deciding on what items I need to add here and there. Like, I don't know. It's just, my brain is just like that. And, but with the 30 by 20, I had so much more space. So, they actually had a nice sized patio back here. And, yeah, it was kind of fun using like the white siding and mixing it with like that really like orangey reddish wood tone there. It's kind of nice. Just a nice little bit of variety. And I added this awning, I guess you could call it an awning, pergola. I'm not really sure what you would call it, but this is from the Get Together expansion pack. I used to use this all the time, but of course, since we got glass roofs, we don't really use this a whole lot anymore. But I think it worked really well in this space. I thought it was nice because it's a little bit lower than what a roof would be at, and I noticed that's a good little way to use it. Is if you're, you know, trying to, you know, have like a cover over, say, like a picnic table like this. If you're trying to have a cover over it, but you want it to be like glass or something, I don't know. It's just the roofing can be a little bit too high sometimes, and like that little awning bit is nice. I'm trying to stay like, you know, talking about the build and keeping it interesting. But to be perfectly honest, there's not a whole lot left to talk about. It's pretty, like I said, pretty simple. But yeah, let's just chat. How are you all? I hope y'all are doing well. Are y'all up to anything like any kind of other video games? There is the 2 new kits. Like I said earlier, we got 2 kits recently. We got the Book Nook kit and the Grunge Revival kit. Is that what it's called? I haven't gotten the Grunge Revival kit because I'm just not really a big Creative Sim person, so I'm going to probably get it later on. But what I've seen, because at first I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I'll get the pack. It seems all right. But the more I saw the like Creative Sim that people were doing on Twitter and stuff, I was like, oh, I actually kind of like this kit. So I think I'm going to get it for sure. But the Book Nook kit for sure is definitely worth it. I know some people might say it's just basic, and it's basic, and I wish it did have a little bit more character, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to work really well with a lot of different builds that I do, because the modular bookshelves are like so incredibly useful. Like, oh my goodness. Like, if you wanted to use modular bookshelves in the past, it had to be the ones from Dream Home Decorator, and those weren't really bookshelves. Like, they were, but I don't know, there was not a whole lot of options with it, and you had to really like, you know, there was a lot more work that you had to do. But this one is just nice because you can just like plop it down and it works. And yeah, it's a nice kit, I will say. It's really, really worth it. The couch and love seat kind of options, I was going to say objects, but the couch and love seat options are really nice, and just really good textures too. That's a big deal with me when I'm reviewing anything. If I can see a good amount of texture and it doesn't look too like plasticky, like this couch for example, the kit hadn't come out yet, and so I was using this couch from the base game and it looks awful. I tried to be like, oh, I like how this looks, but let's be honest, I really would love for them to update some of the stuff in the base game. I know they won't, because the base game's free. They're not profiting off of it. It's pointless at this point. It's too far gone. But it would be nice to get kind of some refreshed items, like a lot of those really old items that we got in the base game, like when it came out, for example. Like a lot of those items are kind of like not great looking, and it would just be nice to have like a tiny little refresh of those, just to kind of like, you know, update the textures, update the meshes a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more clean and simple. And not simple, that's not what I'm saying, but just a little bit cleaner, a little bit more like usable, because a lot of the stuff in the base game, a lot of it is nice, but a lot of it isn't. Also, you may notice that I was attempting to make a picture frame TV, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I actually kind of like how it looks, but the point of a picture frame TV is so that there's art in the frame, like of the TV, while it's off, essentially, or, you know, it's on screensaver mode or something. Like, I don't know, it just defeated the purpose, and there wasn't a whole lot of space on that wall to make like a gallery wall to surround it either. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to use that tool later on in the future, but essentially I just used the tool mod to kind of move the TV a little bit farther back into the wall. And then I used a picture frame. I think I used the one from Cottage Living, and I just kind of like used move objects. It was pretty simple and straightforward, but don't really recommend it because it didn't look the best. And you know me, I was being super indecisive with this furnishing here. I was very like unsure of what I was gonna do, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I should just follow the floor plan that is in the thumbnail like to a T, but I was like, I don't really know if I want to do that, because it doesn't, like, a lot of the times like floor plans, just layouts and everything, they don't really like translate well into The Sims, just because The Sims is like really finicky, like with the grid and like the scaling of everything. So I just kind of used it as an inspiration. That's kind of what I did here today. I really like these curtains from, I think they're the Parenthood game pack curtains. They're these like sheer curtains. They're so nice. I love the orange swatch a lot. I think it looks really good. It's a nice way to add like a little bit of color into your rooms without it like being like too much. And like, because you know, sometimes curtains are too much. These aren't too much, because I wish we had these specific curtains but solid. That would be kind of nice, like not see-through, but like a solid curtain. That would be really cool. I wish they would have given us that option, I will say. The kitchen was a little bit tricky because I wasn't really sure what I was going for style-wise yet. And I was like, ooh, I'll do this gray swatch, but I do switch it to a darker, like more of a warm brown swatch. I thought that looked really good, because that's kind of the colors that I went for in this house, is just warm, earthy tones, mainly orange and dark wood tones. There is like pops of color here and there, and I try to keep it a little bit mixed up, but like it just looks nice. I think I'm a big fan of this space. I think the kitchen, it's okay. I try to make it somewhat of an inexpensive kitchen. I didn't want to go like too crazy with this build, and I wanted it to be fairly affordable, so I went with the cheaper kitchen stuff, and it's just okay. I like it. It's functional. The point of, you know, this house, I would say, is to maybe like upgrade things as you go along. So it's like kind of there. It's getting there. It's not fully upgraded, but it's like halfway there, if that makes sense. But yeah, the floor plan actually had a table and chairs. I was like, that's not going to really work for this space, so I just used a countertop and like an island counter. I thought that made better sense for the space, just because, I don't know, it may have worked, like a table there, but it would have just been a little bit awkward for like the flow and like the shape of the room and everything. And I do switch to these snowy escape windows. I thought those looked really, really nice. Like they contrasted against the white siding quite well, which the white siding is from the Greenhouse Haven kit. It's in miscellaneous. I don't know why they put it there, but I guess it has like different swatches that aren't this. But oh, I just now remembered, in the book note kit, it actually comes with a new wallpaper. It's like a paneling. It's very simple, but it's going to be so useful because it's simple. I can see myself using it so much, so I just forgot to use it in this build. So I guess I'm not really gonna use it that much if I didn't use it today. But yeah, later on, I do kind of start using the new stuff in just a bit. And of course, I'm layering these beaded kind of hanging curtain things. They're not really curtains, but they're like, I'm just gonna say they're beaded curtains. I kind of layer them with the Parenthood curtains there, and I love those. I love how it looks together. And here I was, finally I got the new kit, and ooh, I love it. It's so nice. It's so good. And I got rid of, there was no TV. I'm not keeping the TV in the house. They're going to be a book person, I guess. So I made a little book nook, hence the name. And I really like it. These windows fit perfectly there too. I will say the modular system with bookshelves is kind of like the snapping can be a little bit, not frustrating, but it's just a little bit of a you gotta watch what you're doing, because you could delete the whole thing if you try to remove one, and you have to kind of take it apart and put it back together if you want to move it and rearrange it. So yeah, that's the only thing. But I love this little love seat that fits so perfectly in between the the bookshelves, and then the new chair and the new couch. Oh my goodness, they have such good textures. I love the textures, and I feel like they're going to work really well with a lot of the newer content that we've received lately. But yeah, it's a nice little living room. It's very cozy. I saw someone use these lights from the campers kit, the little campers kit. Is that what it's called? They use those lights, and they just kind of use moved objects to lift them up and everything. And I really liked how that looked, so I was like, I'm going to do that here. But yeah, that's honestly, you know what? This house is pretty straightforward. You're going to see me do a bedroom in a minute where it's just, a bedroom. But my favorite item, I think, from the kit so far is this little plant book basket that I placed in the living room. I love that little plant. I wish it was separated. We always wish that plants were separate, but I'm still saying I like it because it's a cute little plant. I'm going to use that item so much in this game now. I will say I can already see some CC creators out there separating the plants from all the objects that we get. So yeah, just stay tuned. I'm sure people will do it soon. And I went with some warmer earthy tones on the walls here. I just thought that looked a lot nicer. Just kind of made it a lot more cozy. I don't like using white walls in any of my builds. If it's a traditional kind of simple suburban home, sure. But if it's going to be a build that it's more designed by me, I'm not going to put white tones. I don't like white anything. I don't like the white walls. I like accents of white, but that's it. Because the love seat in the living room, for example, the white cushion on that kind of stood out from all the earthy tones. So that's a good way to use it, but I don't really like using it everywhere because it can be very blinding. But yeah, I kind of speed through the bedroom. It took me very little time to do the bedroom. It just kind of kept the same vibe going on, and the bathroom as well. Yeah, it's just, you see me furnished before, what I'm doing. I'm just doing my thing, just curtains, rugs, decorating, done. It's pretty much the same process over and over, but it's fun to kind of change it up once in a while, I guess. But anyways, I'm rambling at this point. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Do let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it, and please leave any suggestions that you have for future content as well. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe. I would be very appreciative if you did. It supports the channel in a very big way, and just the little things count. But yeah, this house will be available on the gallery once the gallery is back up and running. We are currently in a little maintenance period, so that I think they're gonna refresh the gallery, redo it. I'm hoping that it works better, but we'll see. But yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Just if you want to, once we are back and up and running, follow me. It's Lucca Owens, all one word, lowercase, on the gallery. I'm there. Yeah, you can find all my stuff there. But yeah, we're just gonna skip over the bathroom because it was a lot of me moving the camera around, so I'm just gonna be whatever. But anyways, I love you all. Take care of yourselves, and that is everything today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I will speak to you all next time. Goodbye, witches.